enough, let's get our guests on the line. First, I want to go to Jeremico Edwards. Big Summit week last week. I know you're investing in your business more than ever before. You are determined to go board member, and I'm telling you, it's going to happen. We're investing. You're investing. It's going to be crazy, brother. You got a lot of good stuff going on. Share some of the good stuff. It's just funny, Jeremico. I was talking with someone one time, and they said the only people you ever have on the call are people that are doing really well. And I was like, oh, y'all. So the pattern is if you work hard and get good, you're on the call. Why? Because I want to know what the people that are winning are doing, right? People that aren't winning, they always want to tell you what they're doing. They want to tell you what they're doing, whose fault it is, this, that, or the other. But people that are winning, I mean, I love being around it. So you're winning. I just want to hear some of the good stuff, brother.
Man, oh man, well, I'm fired up, man. And Stephen, I'm with you, man. So I'm Jeremico Edwards, hired directly by Stephen Davies. And I'm with Stephen. I only want to hear from winners. And so if Stephen go, well, what's one thing you changed? It's like my mindset, who I hang around. So I'm very careful with like who I let in my circle, who I hang around, because our mindset is important. And so I have to make a run for the end of the year. So that's why last week I did the 13,000. This week, my goal is 15,000. I'm setting this up like this because, well, number one, I got a wedding to plan for. It's like, there's nothing like pushing the guy, like having to pay for 100 and some people to eat. So, and then pay to walk your bride down the aisle. So I'm very excited about that. That's going well. Everything's going smooth. And so my focus is like a certain amount. Now, here's the thing. As far as new people, we've upped our investment in that. And so now it's like hiring a recruiter. So I have one recruiter. So now I have to hire a recruiter to just focus on getting new agents in. So the goal is to have a person that bring new agents in, and then the goal to have an agent mentor to mentor them. So I have to run more production so I can fund the business more, so I can raise the level of people, like, people I'm bringing in for recruiters. So I'm fired up, Stephen. I mean, we got stuff going on everywhere. All of our agents are taking off. Everybody is hitting their new level. And so the goal is to have a call with the whole team and just, I don't want to have extra conference calls, right? You got Stephen's call going on, we got TWC, but the goal is to have a call with the team once a month to ask everybody what are their goals for this month, what do they want to accomplish. So we're going to do a Zoom call, get everybody fired up, and then just to keep people accountable for their goals. Because that's the thing, as what I found in this business is, if you want to set a goal and hit a goal, you need to be held accountable. So if nobody is holding you accountable, us as humans, we can make all the excuses in the world. I can make every excuse. I have every excuse not to write 15,000 this week. Heck, I'm planning for a wedding. I can use that as an excuse. Like I can say anything. We as humans tend to rationalize things, but if you stay attached to people like Stephen, and you're talking to Stephen on a regular basis, you're talking to Andy, you're talking to your growing up line, whoever brought you into this business. If you see them growing and moving and shaking and doing things, if you stick to them and you tell them your reasons, they'll let you know what's legit and what's not. In our minds, we rationalize everything. Every excuse I make is legit. But then when I run it past Stephen or Andy, they'll toss it to the side, or they'll say, they'll help me look at it from a different angle. And it's not a reason not to succeed. And so I'm fired up, man. Most of that business got issued to 13,000. I got a couple more policies to issue, but man, with coming into September, and it's crazy because this is August. August is a slow month. So look at the numbers we're doing, and it's August. Come September, I'm so fired up. All we're doing is prepping for September, because come September, whatever we're doing now is going to double and triple. So you're going to see people on this team, myself included, you're going to see people on this team doing $40,000, $50,000 a month, easy, just from regular going on right bit, like not even extra effort. So, man, I look forward to seeing the explosion. We already see the explosion happening. I'm looking forward to September, October, November. That's when we write the most business. That's when people hit different levels. So if you're right there, if you're sitting around 3,000, 4,000 a month, and it's just like you're just waiting on that big explosion to happen, it's coming. Like a couple more weeks. But here's the thing, you got to start now. starting out setting goals, going, okay, it's going to happen for me. It's going to happen for me. And when September hit, it's going to be crazy. And then that'll carry you on until January. And then, you're going to have the best 2024 ever. So our goal this year as a team, again, we're striving for that $250,000 a month as a team. So it's like, where can we find these winners? We need winners. We need people that's working. We need people with dreams and goals. And they're out there. We just got to find them. And so, I'm finding them. I say to myself, good people are coming into my business every day. I'm a good businessman. I attract good people. I attract quality people. I attract quality families. Keep talking to yourself like that. Things will come. Steven, I appreciate you having me on this call, brother. Man, any coaching that you got for me, I'm willing to listen. Coaching, people don't neglect coaching because you only know what you know. So if you get a coach that's been there and done that before, they can help you to the next level. So I only know what I know. Steven can help me get to the next level, Steven. So thanks a lot, brother. I appreciate you. I love you.
I love you too, bro. Appreciate your example, man. And that's like when we were talking on, was it Friday? We are talking about how people will say, well, I'm not going to have a good month in August because, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody's on vacation, and what do we come up with? We just make more dials. Sometimes you got to make more dials than others, right? Just like any job. Sometimes you got to work a little harder than others. Sometimes it's mandatory overtime. Sometimes it ain't. August is mandatory overtime. You can write as much business as you want to write in August. You can write as much business as Jeremy wrote. Just you got to make more dials. And I love the positive self-talk. Most people spend most of their days talking about what they don't want, what they don't like, who they're mad at, what's unfair. They spend their whole inner dialogue going, just spinning on that. And then they wonder why I can't get traction. Your dial, that last part you talk about inner dialogue, that people don't understand the power of inner dialogue. I'm finding winners. I'm a winner. I'm finding more winners. People are getting in my business. The sharpest people I've ever recruited get in my business. That kind of inner dialogue, that's how you win. I love it, man. Thank you for bringing those points out. I made note on both those points. Appreciate your example, brother. Keep rocking. All right, let's get Mimi on. Brand new qualified agency manager, Mimi Ramiro. I know you. Let's get it. I love it. Hey, I am so proud of you. I know you've been pushing. I know you've been doing a lot of work in depth. When I go on, I look at your group, I'm going, that's someone that is out there getting eyeball to eyeball, nose to nose, knee to knee with their agents. And I know you're traveling like crazy. So I just want to hear some of the good stuff, what you're doing, who's winning, how you're helping new people get going, how you're helping in depth, all that stuff. Light us up, Mimi. I want to take some notes on you too.
Yeah. Thank you, Steven, for having me on the call. I appreciate it. Well, I want to how are we winning and what am I doing with the team? One thing I want to mention, Steven, before I get started is that I'm being more honest with people about what this business is. It's a business, first of all. We need to get our mind right. Like yesterday, I had a call with a couple new agents, and then we're talking about it. I said, hey, listen, I'm looking for winners. First of all, I'm blunt out, honest, nicely honest. That's how I tell my people. Even in the home, we have to be blunt, yet nice, find the combo with people. Because if you're not, then you can't build a why in your clients. And it's the same thing with your agent. If we bring people in the business, Steven, that's one thing I learned. You got to care enough about them to help them and tell them the truth. So what I tell people, this is a business. It's not like you're just going to come and then the money's going to just fall on you without doing anything. You need to be committed. Okay, committed to win. Okay, you want to win in life. Okay, facts. Do you want to win with us? That's a decision you have to make. I've decided a long time ago, I'm going to win with the Alliance. I don't care how tough it gets. I'm going to win here. So that's why I stick to it. I see the vision and I want to be part of that winning group here. So because I made a decision, then I'm going to do whatever it takes to win here. Not just in insurance with the Alliance. Does that make sense? So I portray that vision to people. Make a choice, make a decision. Do you want to win in life? Do you want to win with us in this business? Okay, then these are the things you need to do. First of all, early on, I have new people on the call. They will tell you, I tell them, you need to have a schedule. You need to read. You need to wake up early. I have kids and look at me, I'm smiling. I've been up since 5, because that's the only time I can have 2 hours just to myself to take care of my mind. It's crazy up there. It's a big head with crazy stuff in it. I need to fix it. How do I fix it? I wake up early, I read, I do meditation, I do my walk. I don't like the gym, everybody knows that, but I do walk for at least an hour or so every day. So I do things to keep me sharp and keep my health optimal. So these are facts that if you want to win, you don't have to do all of them, but you have to pick something that helps you win. You have to. Look at Bill Gates, look at Andy, look at all the winners. Successful people read, successful people do their exercise, they keep their mind sharp. So that's one thing I'm putting out there for people. You have to do these things, because if you don't get people's mind straight, they're gonna quit at any moment when somebody pick up the phone and hung up on them or cuss them out. They drove an hour, they didn't sell. You got to let people know the facts. I tell people also, Stephen, this is not a physical job. We don't do physical labor, but it's mental. So that's why I want them to read. I want them to exercise. I want them to do meditation, pray, whatever they believe in, do something to keep your mind sharp. So that's the background. That's the foundation, I should say, of what we do in my team. That's the new thing we're doing. I can't say I'm doing it with everybody, but the one that wants to, that's what we're doing. And then while they still in class, I'm connecting them with the system. I'm connecting them to the Monday message, to Andy, the national calls and everything. So stay around the heat, because people can get discouraged very easily, very quick. I know it. We've all been through it. So keep people on the heat. That's very important. And then the other thing, when they're done with licensing, then I put them with the boot camp, the different training and stuff like that. More importantly, I tell them, you got 2 homeworks to do. I want a list with people that we're gonna recruit for you. We're gonna talk to them, and I personally talk to them. I don't let them talk to their people. You can invite, and I will present like Mark Aceta will say. So I do the presentation with them. I do Zoom, I'll do the call and all that stuff. And then I teach them how to fast track people. So I'm taking charge pretty much. So they make a list of people we can recruit. And also, even though they don't even have a license yet, make a list of the people that we can help with our product, pretty much who we can sell to. If you don't know enough people, you have parents, ask your parents for a list. I have one young agent on the call right now. He asked his mom gave him a list of 30 people. I don't know if it's not longer now, because that was last week, it was 30. And today he's calling them. So you don't have money, that's okay. You have people on your phone, you know people, you have family, your family knows people. So then get them to give you names of people you can call. And then what I do, they call it book an appointment. They go to the home and I'll be on Zoom with them if we're not close to each other to run the appointment together. I am really hands-on with my people, doing things with them so I can get them to success fast. So that way, when they, like, for example, I'm going to use Cleo. Cleo has job. Cleo doesn't have money issue. But what we're doing, she's selling to her warm market. So that money she's putting in a separate bank account. So that way, when she needs to buy leads, she can take money from her business account and buy leads. So it's not a struggle where she needs her work money to pay her bills, and then now she have to buy leads with it and all. It's not all that. So you don't have, it's either you have the time or you have the money, or some people have both. So that's what I'm doing with people, Stephen. We get the lead, we get the warm market, call them, and then they sell them, make money, save a couple $1,000 somewhere on a business account. So that way you can always have money to buy leads. What does that do for people? One, they have money to invest. Two, it increases their faith in what we do. They know the system works, and then they learn. By the time they get in a home, they don't have to be nervous about not knowing what to do. If you already went with 30 people, you're almost a pro at that time. You know what I mean? So that's what we're doing. And like you mentioned, I am traveling. I am talking to my people a lot, and I'm straightforward. I tell them this is how it's been working for me. This is what we do. You believe in it, you do it. You don't believe in it, you don't. But I'm gonna tell you the truth. You need to be responsible. You need to have a schedule. So I'm straightforward with people about what they need to do to be successful. I'm not leaving it to them to guess as what to do to be successful. If you do it, you'll be successful. Consistently dialing your leads or your home market, that's what's gonna put money in your bank account. If not, you're not gonna get it. That's all I think I have. We have 4 people, Stephen, who got promoted. Darlene is in my team, Jeanette, Shedlin, and Cleo. So I'm very proud of these women for what they're doing. And we're just gonna go straight for DM. We're not staying at AM. So last month we hit DM, I guess recognize DM. This month we're gonna do it again to be qualified. So it's just the beginning. Some catch up to do right now.
I love
Anything
it.
else, Stephen?
No, that was perfect. I was just looking at some of the notes I made. Like, one, I love that. I made a decision. I'm going to win here, right?
Mhm.
That the power of decision. People don't understand the power of decision. The reason most people struggle to produce success in their life is they don't make decisions like that. Their decisions are more like, I'm going to try here and see what happens, instead of I'm going to win here. I love that. I love the straightforward with agents, right? This is a business. It takes hard work. Anything worth doing is going to be hard, right? I wish it was easy. You know what's easy? Stuff that's not worth doing, stuff that doesn't get you where you want to go in life. All the good stuff in life is uphill. It's going to take hard work. It's going to take fighting through some disappointments. I love that you're straightforward with them. People kill their recruits by making it sound like it's all, rainbows and whatever, like everything's easy, it's so easy. No, it's anything worth doing is going to be hard, right? You want a good relationship with your kids, it's going to be hard, right? Anything worth doing is. I love this, the reading, meditation, 5 a.m., getting up early. I'm telling you, people don't realize how much of their life they waste by sleeping in. I mean, just waste. When people are struggling in the business, they're not getting up at 5 a.m. like you. I will bet the farm on that. If someone's struggling in the business, they're not doing that stuff, because that stuff works. Getting up early, reading something positive every single day. I think it was last week on the call, Mimi, I was transparent saying that was one of the things I had let up on that I was now doubled back down on. I think it was last week. And discipline like that, people look at discipline like a punishment, like, oh, I got to give up all this stuff. Discipline is freedom. Look at her face. Look at the way she talked. That's someone that's free. What's the opposite of freedom? Being a slave to your every whim and emotion and what other people do. That's slavery. Freedom is discipline. I'm going to get up early. I'm going to go get it. I love the Zoom calls with new people, being hands-on with your new people, showing your new people what to do. Mimi, I know you have an educational background. If you ask my aunt's been a teacher. I mean, I was gonna say as long as I've known her, but that's not entirely true. But for her whole adult life, she's been a teacher. She's in her 60s now. And if you ask her like what some of her biggest frustrations are, one of them is she'll tell you, when parents want the school to raise their kids for them, she's like, it's frustrating. She's like, I can't build on a lack of a foundation. You're not doing that. You are one-on-one, getting with your people, helping make sure they're successful. That's the kind of grit and determination it takes. I love it. The conference calls are great. This call, I put my heart into generating content and guests for this call. TWC is fantastic. The activity call is fantastic. The product training call is fantastic, but that can't raise your agents for you, right? We have training that we did for the base shop that's open to the whole team to use. But that can't raise your agent for you. You've got to put in that time. And that's why you have people like Cleo that are just so tied to you because you put in that heart time. And I'm seeing that. Like I should have pulled up your group drawing and just put it up there for everybody. She's getting stuff happening in depth. I know where that leads. I'm just so proud of you, Mimi. Proud of you going qualified agency manager. And I love that you're not happy and satisfied. People get to AM and sometimes they just sit there and they go, I've won. Bro, it's just a mile marker. It's just a mile marker. Board member is just a mile marker. It's the mile marker I'm at, but it's just a mile marker. I ain't happy. You know what I'm saying? I'm going for bigger. All right. I love it. So proud of you, Mimi. I am working on my travel schedule. I know Beal's got stuff West Coast. I know you do. I don't know if Salt Lake City qualifies as West Coast, almost West Coast. We can do some triangulation out there. So proud of you. So proud of your team. Love it. Awesome. Thank you for sharing. Let's get into the content. Here's what I wanted to share. I wanted to share some magic phrases. Here's what I find. I find that people that perform at a lower level are careless with their words. They use the words that come into their mind. And that's most people, period. That's why most conversations don't produce anything worthwhile, because people just use the words that come into their mind. They just, instead of being very purposeful with their words. So in selling, in recruiting, in motivating, the words you use are power. I mean, think about words. Words cause wars. Words stop wars. Words cause life. Words can take life. I mean, words are powerful. Most people don't, they just look at the average person, they just spout out whatever comes in their brain, whatever, they just say it instead of thinking through what would be the best thing to say here. So I was working on this content throughout the week. And I've got some phrases that if you just write these phrases down and as you go about your selling, your recruiting, your building, find places where you can use these, because these phrases absolutely work. I tell people all the time. I was doing a Zoom in depth under Diana Castile, and I was talking about my diaries. I was doing a Zoom in depth under Beal and Knoll. I was talking about all my journals where I keep track of stuff over the years, turns of phrase that made a difference. And once I figured that out, once I found it, man, I have used it to make sale after sale after sale, to get recruit after recruit after recruit, to get person moving after moving after moving. All right, so here's the first one. I'm not sure if this is for you, but I'm not sure if this is for you, but that immediately makes someone want the idea that you bring up next. I'm not sure if this is for you, but Mimi and the top people get up at 5 a.m. and make sure they read something positive, make sure they have that time to meditate and get their mind right. And I'm not sure if that's for you. That's what the top people are doing. I'm not sure if it's for you, but you know what a lot of people in your situation that are getting close to retirement are doing? They're moving their money completely away from risk. I've got a BAM fan because I said that last week. I'm not sure if it's for you, but a lot of people getting close to retirement, they're moving their money completely away from risk to not take any chances. I'm not sure if this is for you, but that's a powerful turn of phrase. Here's another one. Would you be open? Would you be open? You can use that all the time when it comes to finding safe money. Would you be open to a quick Zoom call with one of our top financial advisors? Would you be open? People want to be open to things. See, the magic is in the words. Would you be interested in? I may or may not be interested in. Would you be open to? See, as human beings, we're built to be open, not closed. Open to, not closed to. Another magic turn of phrase. Hey, when would be a good time? And you say, well, that's a basic phrase, Stephen. Yeah, but a lot of people don't do it right. They go, well, when would you be available? I may not be available. I don't know when I'll be available. When would be a good time? The subliminal message there is that there is a good time and they know it. They know the good time. It would be hard for them to say there is no good time. You say, well, sometimes I get that. Hey, none of these are 100%. What they're going to do, though, is help you win more often than not. So that's the next one. When would be a good time? When would be a good time for us to get together on this 401k that you have sitting out there from a previous job? When would be a good time for me and you to get together on Zoom and go through your list? When would be a good time? Not when can you, when would be a good time? There is a good time. You know that good time. When would that be? You don't say that other part. That's the unspoken part. I'm sorry. The fact that there is a good time and that they know it. That's the unspoken part when you say, when would be a good time? I love this one too. When you're getting to the solution part of the sale, right? And by the way, go back and watch the one of Noel Wilson's agents. It's sharp young couple. She's a school teacher. He used to be a school teacher. He went through and watched my sales training, the hour-long sales training I did at the National Convention in Dallas. He went through it and took notes on every part of it. Please utilize that tool. That sales training, by the way, is a culmination of all the journals I've kept over the years. It's on the Alliance YouTube. It's not hard to find. Utilize that with your new agents. I'm telling you, it'll take some of the heavy lifting off of it. But let's see, where was I going with that? Oh, when you get to the solution part and you're presenting the different plans to the client, here's the magic turn of phrase. As I see it, you've got three options. As I see it, you've got three options. Very concrete, very clear, and you're now putting the decision in their court, not about whether or not to get life insurance, but which one. People love buying, they hate being sold. This allows them to buy and not get sold. So after you move through the stories, you move through the situation evaluation, you're now in the solution, the emotions already been built, the stories have been swapped. As I see it, you've got three options. That puts them back in charge to pick what they want to pick. I'm telling you, magic little turn of phrase. Here's another one. There's two kinds of people. I use this constantly. There's two kinds of people. Where am I going with that? I want them to be the kind of person that does the things that win. I want them to be the kind of person that takes care of their family. So I'm going to draw a contrast by saying there's two kinds of people. The unspoken message is, okay, I'm one of those. Which one am I? Which one do I want to be? There's two kinds of people. There's people that put this off and put it off and put it off and end up on GoFundMe.com. How embarrassing. How embarrassing. End up on GoFundMe.com. And then there's people that make sure that their legacy is protected. Make sure that those they love that they leave behind aren't left with a burden. There's two types of people. Two types of people. Hey, Mimi, there's two types of people. There's people that mosey and saunter out of bed about 9:30 or so. And then there's people like Mimi that get up 5 a.m. and read and meditate and get some exercise in. Which one would you like to be? I mean, you don't have to say that, but just put it out there. Everybody's gonna go, well, I want to be a leader. I don't want to be a slacker. There's two types of people. Another magic little turn of phrase. Okay, if then. So if what you're telling me is that at your current job, there's just no advancement opportunity or opportunity to build an organization like you like, then if then. And there's a cadence to these things that works with the brain. It's kind of like petting a cat with the grain or petting a cat against the grain. What happens when you pet a cat against the grain? What happens when you pet a cat with the grain? Same thing. When you use words against the grain, you use words with the grain. If, then. So what you're telling me is if you don't get something in place tonight, and the worst happened tomorrow, then she's going to be in this shape. If then, that highlights the fact that there is a consequence that cannot be gotten around. So if you keep just not operating off the schedule, just getting pulled one way or the other all day, then you're never going to go board member. Is that what you want? That's my next magic phrase. Is that what you want? When you're highlighting a consequence of the action when you're highlighting a consequence of inaction, Is that what you want? It's powerful. That's my next one. All right, here's another one. Write this one down. Most people, I already used it in conjunction with another magic phrase. Most people, and you can use this good, bad, good or bad. Most people in your situation are doing this to make sure that they don't end up having to unretire. Most people your age are moving money completely away from market risk. Most people in your situation are not trying to cover the whole mortgage just because of age and health and just the cost. Most people are buying each other time. Most coming out of a family reunion, most people are getting up earlier and reading and meditating and getting hands-on with their agents. Most people, we want to be part of the most people. Magic little turn of phrase. Here's another one. What happens next is. This is a magic little phrase when we've established that there's a need. We've shown them, as I see it, you've got 3 options, and they go, well, this one would fit budget-wise. Okay, what happens next is we go ahead and we do an application and we work to get you approved for that. I can't promise that we can get you approved, but I'm gonna work to get that done. What happens next is we need you to do this. What happens next is you're gonna go to the contracting website. What happens next? Again, you say, well, what I say is just as effective. I'm telling you, years of reading psychology books will tell you different. These little turns of phrase make a difference. What happens next? What happens next is, I'm telling you, here's another one. The good news is we've established the need. The good news is we can help get this addressed. The good news is there are products that can take your money completely away from risk and allow it to still grow aggressively. The good news is you're getting into it. You're at the perfect age to start this tax-free retirement plan. The good news is we can get you through licensing in 3 days. The good news is there's still tickets available for National Convention. The good news is we want to be associated with good news. This is how we are as human beings. When someone says, I got good news, what do? Huh? You got good news, right? The good news is use that magic little phrase. Here's one last one. Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. We can get you covered one way or the other. Don't worry. There's still time if we act now to get a solid retirement built. Don't worry. There's still time for you to get your ticket to National Convention. When I'm going through my journals and I'm looking at all the things I've written over, I don't know if it'd be possible to quantify how many appointments I've run, how many recruiting interactions I've had over the last 22 years. But I'm telling you, these are the phrases you'll find in my journals over and over and over again as I started to learn. The more I've read, right? That's why I get so fired up when people say they're getting up earlier and reading. I'm like, they're about to learn some stuff. They're about to stay positive and not get negative. When I looked in my journals and I was looking through different turns of phrase, these are the ones that stood out as ones that I went, that made a difference. That made a difference. That made a difference. And so I thought I'd share them with you today. I know it's made me a ton of money. It's helped me help a lot of people. There have been a lot of life insurance claims paid that kept people off of GoFundMe.com. There are people that are still retired instead of having to unretire because of the craziness that goes on in the market sometimes. These phrases work. I thought I'd share them with you today. Put them to use for you. Guys, Holly and I love you. We want you to win more than you can possibly understand. All roads point to National Convention this January. Get it on your schedule. How many people can we get there? How many people do you have pre-registered? How many people can you get pre-registered this week? Keep the feedback coming to me on where we can work together, where you can go, and then I can come in behind you and we can work together on getting cities growing for you. Hey, give us feedback too. We would love more volunteers to help lead Dial Jams. We need more leadership. That's how we are going to beat Andy Riddle. That's how we're going to beat the Leventoviches. People I love, and I love them because they're fighting, they're winning, and it brings out the best in all of us. We're going to need more leadership to get to that next level. You're going to need more leadership to get to your next level. Let's work it together. Guys, Holly and I love you. Let's get out. Let's get after it.